So we are back once again with another comparison video. Maddie is lucky enough to be sponsored by Mongoose Bicycles. Not only does he get the top of the line bikes to test out, but he also gets the cheaper versions of it. Now, when you talk about cheaper and top of the line, I mean, there's going to be a big comparison between the components that are on the bike and also what the bike is built for and what it can last with. So what is the game plan for today?
Well, we're here at the track, Scott, and we need to compare these bikes side by side. I have two 20-inch Mongoose race bikes. One really is top of the line. My Mongoose title team is $999.99, so that's about $1,000. And I'm going to be racing the worlds on this exact bike. But over here, this bike cost $178, and you could go to your local Walmart and get this race bike. This bike has 3-piece cranks, aluminum frame, aluminum hubs on it, and it pretty much just gives you everything you need to get on the track. But we want to compare the speed differences between these two bikes, the top of the line and the entry level. So let's see what the difference is.
So the first thing that we're gonna be doing is weighing these bikes. And I know weight isn't a huge concern after we prove that you really don't lose too much, but it's very interesting to know what the difference is, comparing a $1,000 bike and a $180 bike. So why don't you step on there, Matt, with your bike, and we'll see what your total weight is, and we'll figure out the difference. So we figured out that he was 159 pounds without the bike. So with the bike, what does that say, Matt? 179.8. So that means this bike is 20.6 right now. Okay, 20.6, and I'm really curious to see what this bike weighs. You know, it's aluminum, which is amazing. There's nothing overbuilt on the bike at all. So the total weight of the Mongoose Rebel RS1 was 183.2.
183.
So that's 24 pounds exactly.
That's exactly 24 pounds.
Wow. Okay. So there's a little bit of a weight advantage here, but it's definitely not 100 pounds like we were used to debating on that.
And
so
we figured out that the 100 pounds really doesn't matter. So yeah. I don't think the weight is what's going to. I don't
think 4 pounds is going to make. I don't think really any of a difference.
And Scott, what I just noticed on this bike was actually kind of cool. It's almost got like an arrow rim.
Absolutely.
You see that?
No,
like
it's not almost. It does.
They put like a deeper rim on it where it makes the rims actually look like there's some sort of like
and that's on the
wheels.
front and the back as well.
I thought that was really cool.
That is
really
cool.
I want my rims to look.
Yeah, yours are a little bit less arrow on there, but it's not bad.
This bike against that bike, we have flat pedals on both bikes just to make sure.
Let's talk about that. Flat pedals means just regular old pedals. Usually he rides clip-in pedals on this bike. But to keep it as even as possible, we are trying to do flats on both of these, which should make it pretty even for the most part. So what do we do first?
I feel like I should ride my bike first.
Yeah, I think we should do 2 laps on both just to make sure.
Yeah, just to...
You know, I think one each. Yeah, I think one on each, and we'll do the average of both. Sound good?
I think that's a good idea.
Cool. Let's do it then. First one is your bike, right?
All right, I'll go straight to the top.
Cool. Here goes the first run on his own personal bike. And time is going to start now. So Maddie is a very fast rider, but he usually rides with his clips. So adjusting to riding the flat pedals is going to be difficult. I know he rides his flat pedals every day on his, trick bike, but it's way different when you are riding in that than when you are trying to pedal as fast as you can and try to react over all these quick jumps. But he's still going to put in a fast time. I know he is. So charging to the end. This is going to be the final stretch, and that is the time. So you hit about 30 seconds on your first run right there. So pretty good. That's really not far off from your fastest time. I know you definitely would have been faster with your clips on, but I think it's a good, solid attempt. Now what I think we should do is switch on over to the other bike. Oh. So we keep things...
Go back and forth.
Yeah, we're going to go back and forth to keep things different,
We're going to keep it interesting for you guys. It's going to be a little scary, I think.
It is, but we got to figure this one out, and I think that's the best and most accurate way to do it. So let's get the first lap on the Rebel right now. So here goes Maddie's first lap on the Rebel. Time starts now. So I'm not expecting this to be very far off at all. I'm thinking it's going to be within 2 seconds. Now, Maddie's going to ride this one a little bit safer because the other bike has like higher PSI tires on it. I mean, it's definitely made for a smaller child than it is for somebody of Maddie's skill and his size in general. But when you mix those two together, that's when things get a little crazy. But here we go, going into the final straightaway. We're gonna see what the time is. Boom, there we go. So how do you feel after the first run on the Rebel? What were the things that you liked? What did you not like?
I like the size of the bike a lot. This feels Very similar to my BMX bike.
Oh, the freestyle bike.
Freestyle bike. Frame's a little bit more compact, so like manualing felt easy. I felt like I was able to adapt in no time, where even my real race bike, I still feel a little sketchy when I do some manuals and stuff. Okay. Bar height, like front end height, feels perfect.
Okay.
Everything matches up really nice. And
I know you were concerned about the 40 PSI tires.
That was probably the biggest downfall about the bike.
Do you feel like you held back because of that in a way?
I did have to hold back a little bit, especially around the turns. These turns are super tight at this track. So with the lower air pressure in tires, granted, this bike is technically a kid's bike. I don't think any 26-year-old, dude should be trying to ride this bike or whatever. So in the turns, you could feel the lower air pressure tires kind of rolling in the turn a little bit. So I wasn't able to get like a good pump out of them.
Okay.
But all in all, like because of the lower air pressure, bike feels like a Cadillac.
Gotcha.
I feel like I'm on air ride suspension the whole time. I just feel like I'm kind of bobbing through things. Good, where my other race bike feels like it's riding a rock.
One thing we didn't talk about that comes on this bike, which is really cool, it has a quick release seat post. So that's pretty convenient. You could just pop that thing up and just cruise around sitting down, which is really, really nice to have, especially on a bike at this price. But Matt, that was about 33 seconds. I don't have the exact times. I'm gonna do those afterwards, but that was somewhere around 33. Could be a little bit under, could be a little bit over, but so it wasn't too far off.
Similar time though, huh?
Yeah, it's really not that far off, and I think you're gonna get a little bit more comfortable with it. So
yeah,
we're gonna average the two together. That's the reason why we're doing this. We're going to jump on over to that bike right now to make things weird for Maddie, and then he's going to do a lap on each of these bikes, and we're gonna average them together, and we're gonna see how close they really are. So let's get on the next bike, and we'll do this.
Let's take the title back to the top.
This is definitely gonna be a little bit hard for him, but the time starts.
Go.
Right now. Oh, he's looking fast down that first straightaway though. The speed that he brings with that bike, I mean, it's not just the bike. It's his confidence in the bike, because he's ridden this thing so many times. He knows exactly how it feels. He's running maximum PSI in the tires. He just trusts it. And there's a little bit that it's going to take, for him to really trust in a bike. You have to spend a lot of time on it. And with the Rebel, that's not the case. But here we go. There's the time. So that was really close to the first run.
Was it?
Yeah, it was within a second of it. You probably were closer to 31 than 30 that time, I would say.
Okay.
I don't know the exacts. I'm just doing it based off of like my timing on the camera, but it's really hard to focus on filming and also on the time. But it's about 31 seconds.
That one I felt the mess ups on.
Did you?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's good though, because the reason why we're switching back and forth is to keep it fresh between the two. I don't want him to get super used to this bike and do 2 perfect laps. I want him to go back and forth so we can really just get a good rider riding on 2 different bikes right now.
It's a funny way to do it.
It is.
It feels good. Like it feels interesting.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go on
now. This feels brand new again.
Exactly. So we're gonna go on to the Rebel. We're gonna get his final lap right now.
Oh man.
And this has been a cool experiment so far. For me watching and just filming it, it's been quite interesting.
Yeah.
And I also want to point this out. Like, look at that awesome looking head tube on this bike. Like that looks like a modern day race bike. It looks very similar to your bike.
That's what I thought was really cool and
super cool. I want to show you.
So where the bike comes from.
Yeah, that's the Rebel, which is sold at Walmart for $180. Here's the Title Pro. This thing is $1,000, and it's a good-looking bike. Both of them are. It's really cool that Mongoose does that.
I think it really doesn't need much, and like you have yourself, one heck of a bike. This could easily go from a level 1 to like a level 2. I think real quick.
Yeah.
My biggest thing would be the tires, and then once we do that, I feel confident I could take 2 seconds off.
Awesome.
Like confident, just the turns alone, I think would add up so quick.
Yeah, I completely agree and understand. I mean, you got these awesome looking wheels. They look great, man. So, all right, well, let's get on up there and get this next lap. I'm excited to see what happens here.
Right now?
Well, I mean, take your time on your way up.
10 seconds?
Just take your time. Go ahead.
2 minutes.
All right, go ahead.
All right, 5-minute break.
We'll check back in. Can he get better time on the Rebel? We're going to find out. The time is going to start right now. Ooh, he's charging right now. He looks pretty fast this time. Is he gonna get a little bit more confidence in this bike? Ooh, I like what he did with that turn. He put a couple pedals in there. Didn't carve too much with the lower PSI tires. Jumped the triple that time. Oh, he's gonna try to beat a record right now, I think. Looking pretty smooth though. Everything looks nice in this bike so far. Super impressed with it. Going to the finish line now. And that is going to be time. Look at how fatigued this guy is. 4 laps. Pushing it that hard, huh?
4 laps max.
It's pretty crazy.
I'm not.
But I'm not gonna lie, you looked solid on the bike that time. You looked more comfortable. I like how you pedaled around the first turn.
I
Thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I did notice that. I also noticed how you jumped the triple for the first time.
I jumped triple in the first one too.
Oh, you did? I didn't know
To be
that.
fair, I cased it.
Okay, well.
I cased it.
Okay, like I said, you cleared the
You're right.
triple. There we go.
That one I cleared the triple. That one I felt like I carried a better consistent speed.
Between the two, I'm going to put the average right here, but I do know it is within 3 seconds of each other. And that is super close, man. Just think about that. This bike is $180. That bike is $1,000. You can buy this bike 5 times for 5 kids and almost have money to bring them to the racetrack for the day.
That's crazy. I could probably, if the amount of money, I'd probably figure out how to take off 3 seconds.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, with another $800.
No, you're right about that.
I feel pretty confident.
It's a good platform, but you got to also bring up the fact this bike is an amazing quality bike. This is top notch. Maddie can trust all of these parts. This bike, on the other hand, it's not meant for pros going full out. So don't be a pro and buy this bike. You need to be a kid that's just starting out getting this bike, and you can enjoy this, fall in love with the sport, and then become this guy one day. So good job, Matt. That was awesome to see.
I appreciate it. That was actually a lot of fun.
It's really impressive that Mongoose is able to make bikes of both quality and have bikes available and ready to go for different caliber of riders. Mongoose has always been a great company, and I'm super proud that my brother does ride for Mongoose bikes. So we're actually going to put the link in the description of this video for both of these bikes. So if you're interested in either of these, you can go and check out the links. But before you guys go, I do have to tell you that my longtime sponsor, Monster Energy, released a short documentary that they've been filming for the last couple months about me. I am super proud of this one. I am super grateful for Monster Energy backing me for all of these years and giving an athlete with a handicap an opportunity to do what he loves. So guys, please go check out the video. If you can like, comment, share it, I would greatly appreciate it. So go check it out right now. It's also in the link in the description, or you can go over to the Monster Energy YouTube channel. See you guys then. Peace.